It's the 27th of the month. Your paycheck hit 3 days ago, and you're sitting there, phone in hand, doing that thing where you open your banking app and then immediately close it, because you already know what it's going to say. You've got maybe $340 left, rent's coming in 4 days, your car needs a tire, and somewhere in the back of your head, that little voice is whispering, what if something goes wrong this week? If that's you, if that scenario hit a little too close to home, I need you to stay with me for the next 8 minutes. Because what I'm about to show you is the single financial shift that separates people who always feel broke from people who suddenly start feeling different, more in control, like money is finally working for them instead of against them. And no, it's not a 6-figure salary. It's not some side hustle. It's not even about being particularly smart with money. It's $10,000. That's it. Your first $10,000, and here's what most people don't realize. It doesn't just change your bank account, it changes your brain. And today, I'm gonna show you exactly why your first $10,000 changes everything. The uncomfortable truth about where most people are. Look, before we get into the magic of $10,000, we need to be honest about the reality most people are living in, because I think a lot of financial content skips this part, and then people feel like the advice doesn't apply to them. Here's the data. According to Credible's 2025 American Savings Report, and I want you to really sit with this, the median savings balance for millennials is $9,000. For Gen Z, it's $3,400. And 1 in 5 Americans had literally $0 in their savings account at some point in the last 6 months. Zero. Not a little, zero. And it gets worse. Nearly half of Americans, say they cannot cover a $1,000 emergency expense. Not $10,000, not $5,000, $1,000. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Nettle, that's depressing. Why are you telling me this? I'm telling you this because I want you to understand that if you're struggling to build savings right now, you are not broken. You're not lazy. You're not bad with money. You are living the statistical norm. But here's the problem with being the statistical norm. The statistical norm doesn't retire. The statistical norm is still stressed about money at 55. And I refuse to let that be you. So let's talk about why $10,000 specifically is the number that changes everything. Here's the thing about money that nobody teaches you in school. Your relationship with money is not primarily mathematical, it's psychological. And until your psychology shifts, the math almost doesn't matter. You know how it feels to try to run when you haven't eaten all day? Like you're running, your legs are moving, but everything feels heavy and wrong. That's what managing money feels like when you have no cushion. Every financial decision you make is made from a place of scarcity. Your brain is literally in a mild state of threat. And when your brain is in threat mode, it cannot think long term. It can only think about right now. There's actually research on this. Behavioral economists call it scarcity mindset, the cognitive tax that poverty and financial stress places on decision making. When you're worried about paying rent, a significant portion of your mental bandwidth is just occupied, gone, consumed by survival. You can't think about investing. You can't think about your 401k. You can't even think about a budget because the budget already feels like a joke. $10,000 is the number that starts to break that cycle. Why $10,000 specifically? Because at around $10,000, something shifts. You stop reacting to your finances and start responding to them. When your tire blows out, you're annoyed, not panicked. When your phone breaks, you're frustrated, not calculating which bill you can delay. When an opportunity comes up, a certification, a tool for your business, a flight to an interview, you can actually say yes. That is not a small thing. The ability to say yes to opportunity is one of the most underrated forms of wealth on the planet. Okay, now let's get into the math, because this is where it gets really interesting. I want you to forget everything you think you know about saving money for a second. Most people think about savings as storage, like you're putting money in a box. But that's not what happens when you hit $10,000, especially if you move it into even a basic investment account. Let me walk you through a simple example. You've got $10,000 invested in a low-cost index fund. Historically, the S&P 500 has averaged roughly 10% annual returns over the long term. So here's what that looks like. Year 1, your $10,000 earns $1,000. You now have $11,000. Year 2, you earn 10% on $11,000. That's $1,100. You didn't add anything, you just waited. You now have $12,100. Year 3, $1,210 in returns. Total, $13,310. Now, the numbers don't look jaw-dropping yet. I know, but stay with me. At year 10, your $10,000 is worth $25,937. And here's the part that breaks people's brains. In year 10 alone, you earned $2,358 from a single year without touching it. Compare that to year 1, when you earned $1,000. Your annual return literally doubled just from time passing.
Now stretch that out. Leave that original $10,000 invested for 40 years without adding a single dollar more. At the same 10% average return, $452,593. You put in $10,000. You got back $452,000. You didn't work for that money. You didn't stress for it. You just had $10,000 and you were patient. That's the power of compound interest. Einstein, although the attribution is debated, reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. And once you see this math, you'll understand why. Now, you might be thinking, Nettle, I don't have 40 years. I'm starting late. Look, I hear you, but here's what I want you to notice. The math works on any timeline, even 15 years, even 10. The point isn't that you need decades. The point is that every year you wait is a year compound interest can't work for you. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now.
The momentum effect. Why the first 10K is the hardest. Here's something they never tell you about building wealth. It gets easier. Not comfortable, not effortless, but genuinely, measurably easier because money has momentum. And the first $10,000 is where that momentum begins. Think about pushing a car. Have you ever tried to push a car that's completely stopped? It's brutal. Every muscle in your body is engaged. You're straining, you're barely moving. But once that car is rolling, even just a little, it gets significantly easier to keep it moving. You're not pushing against inertia anymore. You're pushing with momentum. The first $10,000 is like getting that car to roll. Here's what I mean practically. Going from $0 to $1,000 is genuinely hard. You have no habits built, no system in place. Every dollar feels like a sacrifice. Going from $1,000 to $5,000 is still hard, but now you've got proof you can do it. But $5,000 to $10,000? Something quietly shifts. Your habits are locked in, your mindset has changed, and going from $10,000 to $20,000, it feels almost fast compared to where you started. Because the behaviors that got you to $10,000, the automation, the discipline, the conscious spending, those behaviors don't stop at $10,000. They compound too. That's why the first $10,000 isn't just a number, it's proof of concept. It proves to your brain that you can do this, that you're someone who builds wealth, and identity is one of the most powerful financial tools you will ever have. Okay, so how do you actually get there? All right, let's talk about the actual how, because I'm not here to just inspire you. I want you to walk away from this video with something you can do today. Step 1. Give yourself a real number, not a feeling. Most people say they want to save more. That means nothing. Your brain cannot work towards a feeling. Your brain can work towards $10,000. So today, literally today, open a high-yield savings account if you don't have one and label it 10K goal. That label matters psychologically more than you think. Step 2. Automate a fixed amount the day your paycheck lands. Not after bills, not after groceries, the day it lands. Even if it's $50, even if it's $25. I've talked to people who are saving $3 a day and hit $10,000 faster than people saving $500 a month because they never missed a transfer. Automation removes the decision, and the decision is where most people fail. Step 3. Find your one number. Here's the thing. You probably don't need to overhaul your entire financial life to build $10,000. You need one lever. For most people, it's one of 3 things: subscriptions you forgot you have, food spending, or impulse purchases driven by emotion, not necessity. Audit your last 60 days of spending. Find the one category where money is disappearing without giving you real value. Cut or reduce it. Redirect that money. Step 4. Make your savings boring, on purpose. Put your savings somewhere slightly inconvenient. A high-yield savings account at a different bank than your checking account. Not a stock, not crypto. At this stage, your only job is to accumulate. No transfers within 24 hours, no borrowing from it. Let it sit, let it grow, let it become untouchable. Step 5. Celebrate milestones, seriously. $1,000 saved? Celebrate. $2,500? Celebrate. Not with money, with acknowledgement. Tell someone, write it down, take a screenshot. Your brain needs to register wins or it loses motivation. Wealth building is a long game and you have to trick yourself into enjoying the process. Look, I know $10,000 can feel impossibly far away when you're staring at $340 in your bank account. I get that. I'm not dismissing how hard that is. But here's what I need you to understand. The gap between the person who builds wealth and the person who doesn't, it's almost never income. It's almost never luck. It's almost always a single decision that was made or not made at a critical moment. 2 in 3 Americans don't believe they'll ever feel financially secure. That stat haunts me because financial security isn't some mythical destination reserved for high earners and tech bros. It starts at $10,000. It starts with one automated transfer. It starts with one no to something that doesn't matter so you can say yes to something that does. Your first $10,000 won't make you rich, but it will make you different. Different in how you sleep at night, different in how you respond to emergencies, different in how you see your future.
And once you see your future differently, once your brain starts experiencing the world from a place of possibility instead of scarcity, everything changes. The math changes, the psychology changes, the opportunities change, and you will never, ever go back to who you were before that number hit. So here's my challenge to you. Right now, this week, open the account, set up the transfer, name it, and trust the process. Your future self is building wealth right now, or they're not. That decision gets made today. If this hit home, subscribe, because every week I'm going to give you the financial education that school never did. And if you want to know exactly how to automate your savings from scratch, watch the video right up there.